Anchorage, Alaska, carries 800 Marines. The next pier is Pier 5. There are 4 littoral combat ships at Pier 5. They're built of aluminum. They're designed to go fast, 418 feet long. Each one has a 57 millimeter rapid fire gun in the bow, large flight deck back half for vertical takeoff and landing aircraft, both manned and unmanned. The 4 ships there, number 20, USS Cincinnati, behind Cincinnati. Another vessel that might be USS Manchester back there, or USS Montgomery. This side of the pier with the stern toward the bay, USS Augusta, named for Augusta, Maine, and USS Oakland, named for Oakland, California. Pier 6, we have a big ship with 2 cone-like projections. That's USS Portland, carries 800 Marines, an amphibious transport dock. The other side of the pier with the bow pointing toward us, the aluminum ship number 30, USS Canberra, named for Canberra, Australia. The capital of Australia, Canberra, also named to honor the memory of Her Majesty's Australian cruiser Canberra, lost in the Battle of Savo Island in World War II alongside U.S. Navy ships. Between the piers, another aluminum ship there, number 36, USS Kingsville, 418 feet long, named for Kingsville, Texas, where there's a large naval air station. Pier 3, we have 3 destroyers. Near shore, USS Muston, named for Captain Henry Muston, early naval aviator, first commanding officer of Naval Aeronautical Station, Pensacola, Florida. The other side of the pier here, we have USS Stedham, named for Robert Dean Stedham, Navy diver, was tortured and murdered by terrorists in Beirut, Lebanon, 1985. Robert Dean Stedham was a 23-year-old Navy diver. He was a passenger on a TWA flight hijacked by terrorists in the Middle East, 1985. They tortured and murdered him simply because he had a Navy ID in his wallet. Bow to bow with Stedham, number 111, is USS Spruance, named for Admiral Raymond Spruance, famous admiral from the Battle of Midway, World War II. The next pier is Pier 2. The destroyer at this end of the pier with all the red equipment or canvas or all kinds of things around that ship. The USS Russell, named for Admiral John Henry Russell of the 1900s, 1800s, and his son, Brigadier General John Henry Russell Jr. of the Marine Corps, the early 1920s. Junior, General Russell was at one time Commandant of the Marine Corps. The big ship at Pier 2, number 2, with the rectangular bow, USS ESSEX, carries 1,800 Marines, named for Essex, Massachusetts. Pier 1, we have a monohull littoral combat ship with a dazzle paint job, USS Fort Worth, and the trimaran, number 18, USS Charleston, named for Charleston, South Carolina. The big ship at Pier 1, United States Naval Hospital ship Mercy, 894 feet long. Mercy is a floating hospital. She has on board 1,000 patient beds, 12 operating rooms, 1,500 medical and service personnel man that ship when they are deployed, mostly out of humanitarian cruises around the Pacific Rim. Mercy is based out of San Diego. Her sister ship Comfort operates out of Norfolk, Virginia. The 2 hospital ships operated by the federal government. That's Naval Base San Diego today. Largest shipyard in San Diego off to the right side, National Steel and Shipbuilding Company, or NASCO. 2 new oilers being built here, the one with the bow pointed toward the bay. The future United States naval ship Lucy Stone, named for a women's rights advocate from the 19th century. The ship with the stern toward the bay, United States naval ship Robert F. Kennedy, named for the Attorney General Robert F. Kennedy, as we all know, unfortunately assassinated in 1968. Robert F. Kennedy, considered a civil rights advocate. The destroyer tucked in there being overhauled, number 93, USS Chung Hoon, named for Rear Admiral Gordon Chung Hoon, United States Naval Academy graduate and a Hawaiian American descent. Admiral Gordon Chung Hoon, highly decorated commanding officer of USS Safety during World War II, did make Rear Admiral. The big green and blue box on the right side, called the NASCO Builder, is a floating dry dock used to lift ships out of the water for inspections and maintenance. The big ship under construction hasn't hit the water yet. The future United States naval ship Sojourner Truth, named for the pen name of escaped slave Isabella Baumfree, who escaped to freedom in the 1850s in New York State. Isabella Baumfree became an orator and writer on anti-slavery, women's rights, and temperance subjects. Isabella Baumfree became a famous civil rights leader. She was interviewed by President Abraham Lincoln during the Civil War. Other ships under construction include another oiler and an expeditionary sea base. The largest ship under construction there will be the future USS Henry Cafarata, named for a Medal of Honor recipient who fought at the Chosin Reservoir in the Korean War. Henry Cafarata, Medal of Honor recipient, did survive the Korean War, lived to be 86 years old. That's the NASCO Shipyard, National Steel and Shipbuilding Company, division of General Dynamics Corporation. You have keen eyesight, you can see that white crane on the barge there. They're doing some dredging over there right next to the pier. Off to right, another shipyard. We're having to take a little bit of a move here because you got the Navy destroyer, USS John Paul Jones, coming this way. Also, there's a large commercial ship leaving port out ahead of us. On the right side, one of my favorite tugboats here, number 10, Sea Tractor Tug. Captain is my son-in-law, Captain Aaron. Tractor tugs move Navy ships on and off the piers. Navy ships go forward very well. They go backward pretty well. They don't go sideways too much. They use these tugboats to move the ships on and off the piers. Called the Sea Tractor Tug, diesel powered, very maneuverable, powerful tugboat. That tugboat's propellers are mounted on vertical shafts, so they swivel 360 degrees. That tugboat can go in any direction, forward, backward, or sideways. Six ships being repaired here or being overhauled or changed here at the BAE Systems Shipyard. Trimaran, USS Mobile. Weapons System Test Ship, Paul F. Foster, operates on Pacific Missile Test Range. They shoot weapons at that ship. 3 destroyers, number 60 USS Paul Hamilton, named for the Secretary of the Navy during the War of 1812. During the floating dry dock, the smaller dry dock, number 92 USS Momsen, named for Rear Admiral Swede Momsen's famous submarine. Number 20 USS Grenn Bay, carries 800 Marines, and all wrapped up in the largest floating dry dock, that's USS Halsey, named for Fleet Admiral William F. Halsey. He insisted on calling him Admiral Bull Halsey. That was his nickname at the Naval Academy. He didn't like the nickname, but it did stick. It was popular with the media. There's a chemical company on shore to the right, owned by a British firm called Tate and Lyle. They make gel and gum over there. Gel and gum is an ingredient in the making of soy milk. Overhead, the award-winning Coronado Bridge, opened in December 1969. Under the bridge, another shipyard. Currently no ships being worked there. That's the Continental Maritime Shipyard. We have tugs and barges and cranes and a lot of equipment stored here on the right in the distance of Pacific Tugboat Service Company. Side, another tugboat awaiting the arrival of USS John Paul Jones. Ahead of us on the right side. Going to get a nice look, nice photo opportunity here because the sun will be on the starboard side. John Paul Jones, of course, named for Navy patriot Captain John Paul Jones, originally Scottish, volunteered to fight for the United States in the American Revolutionary War. Commanded a ship named Bonhomme Richard, given to the United States by France during the American Revolution. Tugboat pulling in behind the pier over there is called E-Wolf. That is the first all-electric tugboat here on the west coast of the United States, operated by the Crawley Tug Company, headquartered in Jacksonville, Florida. Endeavor, the blue and white vessel over there, is an offshore supply vessel. Big gray ship up ahead, the USS Robert E. Semanik. We'll talk about that after we see USS John Paul Jones passing us on the right side. 505 feet long. Arleigh Burke class destroyer, crew of 350, powered by gas turbine engines. 5-inch gun at the bow, guided missiles, primary weapons. Ship's motto, in harm's way. Flight deck back out for helicopters, USS John Paul Jones, an Arleigh Burke class guided missile destroyer powered by 4 gas turbine engines. Just don't get a better look at a Navy ship than you just got right here. The big gray ship on the right side, USS Robert E. Semanik, 785 feet long, a floating military base known as an expeditionary sea base. This ship has the capability of landing vertical takeoff and landing aircraft on the flight deck, launching boats off the side of the ship, billeting troops, storing weapons, and of course, a floating military base. We can move this ship anywhere around the world in international waters. So I have to ask permission to have a military base on another country's land. Expeditionary Sea Base, named for Robert E. Semanik, hero of the Korean War. Fought at the Battle of Bunker Hill in Korea. Did survive. Seriously wounded, but did survive. The Dole Caribbean here on the right side. Banana boat. Offloading bananas from Central America. Off the right side, you get a nice look at a big motor yacht here, 348 feet long, valued at over $300 million. This yacht is named Amadea. This is the yacht that the U.S. government seized in Fiji in 2022. Supposedly owned by a Russian oligarch by the name of Solomon Karamov, supposedly a friend of Vladimir Putin. I guess the federal government's thought were if we start confiscating yachts of friends of Vladimir Putin, perhaps he'll talk to the former president about ending the war in Ukraine. Well, it didn't work all that well. They seized that yacht, hid her in San Diego until about 3 months ago when they brought her out. I read that the U.S. government is spending between $500,000 and $1 million a month to maintain that yacht, so it doesn't deteriorate while it's in U.S. custody. Custody, that's the word, yes. Your tax dollars at work there, folks. Yeah, $1 million to vacuum the carpets, I don't know, clean the heads. At any rate, off to the right, you don't have to cheer again. I know it takes a lot out of you. 2 blocks inland, Petco Park, over the San Diego Padres. Behind us, approaching and overtaking an Navy Seahawk helicopter. Ferryland and Marketplace. On the right side here, Embarcadero Marina Park surrounds the San Diego Marriott Marina. In the park to the right, the Rady Shell at Jacobs Park is a concert venue opened 2 years ago for the San Diego Symphony Orchestra. Summer concerts on San Diego Bay. Other events, other entertainers do use this facility. Entire line of events. Go to the internet. Go to theshell.org. Get the entire lineup of events and how to get tickets for various artists and other events scheduled here at the Rady Shell at Jacobs Park. $80 million edifice. Most of the money donated by Ernest and Evelyn Rady, philanthropists who also support the Rady Children's Hospitals. Also the Irwin Jacobs Foundation, or Irwin Jacobs founded Qualcomm Corporation. His foundation also donated part of the money for the Rady Shell at Jacobs Park. The hotel with the reflected towers here finds also like a restaurant in between. That's the San Diego Marriott Marquis Hotel. The next hotel to the right, San Diego Grand Hyatt Hotel, has two towers get narrow toward the top. Other tall buildings just beyond these hotels, particularly tall buildings with large external balconies, are condominiums. A lot of condos built downtown San Diego over the last 15 to 20 years. The north end of the park to our right, Seaport Village, a popular shopping, dining destination on San Diego Bay.
Oh, go ahead.
On the left side, slowly converging with us here, the ferry Cabrillo, coming from Coronado back to Broadway Pier, where we're headed for as well. On the right side, Tuna Harbor is home to commercial fishing boats that operate out of San Diego Bay. No yachts in this harbor. Working commercial fishing boats. New construction there, new buildings right across the street from Tuna Harbor. That's the Pacific Gate Development. The United States Navy owned a large parcel of land there for over 100 years. It was a warehouse and supply center complex. The Navy no longer used all the warehouses and things. One building was built 100 years ago. And the Navy finally gave up that real estate. They built the Navy a 17-story office building, and surrounding that building with new commercial buildings, Pacific Gate Development. Cougar on the right side, one of the boats operated by Everingham Brothers Bait Company. It goes out in the ocean and catches bait fish for the Everingham Brothers Bait Company. The small fish they catch, like anchovies or mackerel or sardines, are sold live to sport fishing boats at the live bait barges. So Cougar catches the bait fish. Up ahead, CV-41, USS Midway, San Diego's Aircraft Carrier Museum. The letters CV, naming a designation for aircraft carrier, fixed wing. Fixed wing referring to the fact the ship is equipped with catapults and arresting gear for launching and landing fixed wing airplanes. USS Midway, 1,001 feet long, was the largest ship in the world at 970 feet long, when she was originally commissioned 1 week after World War II ended. Midway was modified in the 1950s, 1960s, and then again in the 1980s, so she could be compatible with and also have the same capabilities as the other carriers built after her. She served for 47 years as a active aircraft carrier. 1,001 feet long, she carried 75 airplanes and a crew of 4,500 people. The Operation Desert Storm in the Persian Gulf in 1991. Midway decommissioned the following year, 1992, brought to San Diego in 2004 as a museum. Some of the politicians here, some of the folks in California said this ship will be a blight to the San Diego waterfront. It'll take away the view. No one will come to see this ship. It'll just sit here and rock. They were completely wrong. USS Midway, the most popular ship museum in the world, based on number of annual visitors. She's open from 10 in the morning until 5 in the afternoon. A large cadre of volunteers, docents, and safety personnel answer questions, help you find your way around. Oh, yes. Okay. A lot of fun-loving kids up there. Midway is open to the public from 10 in the morning till 5 in the afternoon. I heartily recommend multiple visits to that ship. As we turn into the fairway, time to remind you, if you're here for our 1-hour tour, it's coming to an end. If you're here for our 2-hour tour, you've been with us 1 hour, there's another hour coming up, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, the North Tour of San Diego Bay. Stay on board if you're waiting for that second hour. We'll be heading out to the ocean entrance today. We'll see seagulls, we'll see submarines, we'll see sea lions, we'll see where the Navy jet crashed 9 days ago. Hopefully they're trying to find out how to get that wreckage out of the water. Unfortunately, no one is hurt or killed, so that's a positive. We'll see that on site as we head by it here on the North Tour. Stay on board if you're waiting for that second hour. If you're leaving, you'll see me down on the dock. My name is Rusty. Happy to try to answer any questions you might have. If you enjoyed my presentation, we narrators are allowed to accept gratuities if you care to honor me in that way, although it's not required. It is appreciated. Thanks for going along. Please be good to one another. Have a safe weekend. Enjoy the sunshine. Peace out.